Hey, third graders, working on some fraction bars today. Super fun. So, you are going to be doing some shading. You can do that with a pencil or a colored pencil. I would not recommend a marker just in case you have to try to erase. Colored pencil or pencil is fine. All right, they did the first one for us. It says 1/6. So I know that my top number is my shaded number because we learned that, and that my bottom number is my total number. So I have 1/6, I have 1 shaded and 6 total. Let's look at number 2. It says 2 parts shaded and 3 parts all together. So this whole bar is called 1 whole. I always look at my bottom number to decide how many equal parts. That's the thing, is you're going to need to be dividing these as equally as you can. Okay, so I need 3 parts. So what we're going to do is look up at where this line is right here. Do you see this line up here? And then kind of bring your pencil down and make it right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this line. I'm using that as kind of like a guideline. And then I can come down, and now I have my 3 equal parts. They might not be exactly perfect, but using that line up there really helps. And then it says to shade 2 of the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and shade 2 of the 3. Get ready for it. Hopefully you're doing that with me. And 2. All right. Kind of fun, right? I still have 1 step left, and that is underneath I need to write the parts. Okay, so each of these parts is 1/3. I'm going to get black here. So you put a little 1/3 plus, I have 1 more shaded, 1/3. And then that gives me my, if I add those up, I should get this answer that's over here. 1 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. You don't need to write the equals part, just need to label the parts underneath. All right, the next one says 7/8. So I know that on the bottom, I have to divide my whole bar here into 8 equal parts. This one's a little easier. Okay, not easier, but if I look right up here, can you see that line? And I bring my pencil down, that's going to divide my bar right in the middle. And then once I have the middle, I'm going to put 4 parts on each side. So I'm going to do, see this up here, come down, divide it in the middle. This line up here, come down, divide it in the middle. I'm sorry, not that one. So I'm going to just divide it just right in the middle. Now I've got 4 parts. Now if I wanted to make that into 8, what would I do? I need to take each part and divide it in the middle, just like this. And then they're pretty equal. They might not be perfect, but Mrs. Hagen will know what you mean. Now, how do I decide how many to shade? I look at my top number, and it is 7. So I know that that is how many that I need to shade. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then under each part, okay, that is 1/8. Each one of those little parts that we just did is 1/8. I'm going to write that underneath. Okay, got to write kind of small. 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8. Because when I add all those up, I get 7/8, which is how many parts that we shaded. Okay. Another cool thing too is if all the parts were shaded, it would be 8/8, and that means the same as 1 whole. 8/8 is like everything shaded. Okay, that would be 1 whole. All right, I want you to do the next 3 on your own. So remember that the bottom number is the part that you are making that many equal parts. You always have to have equal parts. So when I'm doing 4, I like to go right in the middle and then right in the middle of those 2. Okay, and that will give me my 4 parts. Sometimes they're easier to divide, aren't they? All right. And then when you get down to this next one, it's 6 parts. Then you're going to want to use those lines up here again. Right up here. Do you see where I'm scribbling right here? I'm going to come straight down. That will give me my first part. Okay. So use those guidelines up there if you need to. Okay. Just make your parts as equal as you can, guys. And then make sure you do your writing underneath and then your shading. Okay. And then meet me on the next page. All right, this is our second page for today. It is using number lines. We're still doing fractions, but we're going to divide the number line into the correct amount of spaces. Kind of like what we did with the bars, but using a number line instead. And then we're going to do some looping, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's look at the first one. It's 1 out of 6. So I need to put some dots on my number line. Okay, so if I want to have, my bottom number is 6, so I know that I need to have 6 parts. So I'm going to make a dot right in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to put 3, I'm going to have 3 on each side. So I've got, if you want, I would put a dot right here, okay, just because, and then let's put a dot at the end. Notice that this whole number line is one whole. Then I'm going to go in the middle of those dots, okay? And I'm going to put 2 more, just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. So now if I look, I have 6 spaces. Do you see that? So the first one is 0 out of 1. The next one is, 0 out of 6, Mrs. Hagen. The next one is 1 out of 6. 2, you need to label them, 2 out of 6. 3 out of 6, 4 out of 6, and 5 out of 6, and then 6 out of 6. Remember that we talked about, Mrs. Hagen, when you have the same number over the same number, like you do here, that's one whole. 6 out of 6 is the same as one whole. Now, they want us to make a looping, because remember, this is our fraction right here, 1 out of 6. So then you need to loop from here to get to 1 over 6. Okay? That's it. Just show a little looping. In my book, they kind of do it on top and underneath, but that's fine right there. Mrs. Hagen will know what you mean. Let's look at the next one. It says 2 out of 3. First thing I do is I look at my bottom number. That's how many parts I need to have. So I'm going to make 3 spaces. I've got my first, I like to put those dots at the end. And then I'm going to have 3 parts. Okay, so you kind of have to, right there. So I look up, it's right under the 2 over 6 from up above and right under the 4 out of 6 from up above. What's my next step? I label underneath. Okay, this one is 0 out of 3. The next one is 1 out of 3. The next one is 2 out of 3. And the last one is 3 out of 3, which is the same as one whole. Now, I need to decide where I'm going to put my looping. Well, what did they say to do over here? They said 2 out of 3, which means I need to go over to this one with my loop. So I go 1, 2. Kind of fun, right? All right, let's look at number 9. I need to have 8 parts. So right away I'm thinking 8. I'm going to go right in the middle and I'm going to put a dot because then I need to divide my each of those into 4. So let's go in the middle of both sides. Okay. Now I have 4, right? And then I need to go in the middle again. I forgot to put my dot at the end. And then the middle, and the middle, and the middle. Do I have 8 spaces? Yes, I do. Next thing I do is label. 0 out of 8. They have to get kind of tiny here, guys. 2 out of 8. 3 out of 8. 4 out of 8. 5 out of 8. 6 out of 8. 7 out of 8. And 8 out of 8. And I look at my looping, and it says to do 7 out of 8. So I'm going to need to loop all the way over to 7. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to leave you the last 3 to do on your own. Make sure you're looking at the bottom number so that you decide how many spaces you need, and also putting your dots on the front and the back too. First one I'm going to have 4, so right away I'm going to go right in the middle, because and then I need to go in the middle and the middle again, and I'm all ready to go. Start with my labeling. 0 out of 4. All right. Have a super day, guys.